Hi, this is Tim Bryan from Bryan's Business Umbrella, a national virtual business advisory firm located in Buffalo, New York, offering my client valuable solutions to their specific needs via back office platforms such as controllership, accounting, payroll, tax planning, strategic pricing, and more high value services such as that. And in today's podcast, episode number 9 of No Value Added, Wrong Business Advisory, the topic is derived from a book I'm reading called Clockwork by Mike Michalowicz. It's a great book and ties into the services that my firm provides in the business advisory sector. The main point of the book is to put in processes for your business to run itself by defining the roles and tasks needed for your business to function successfully, and then finding the absolute out of all those, the most important function that makes your company money and run effectively. And as he describes it, the QBR or Queen Bee role. The Queen Bee role should be guarded and preserved at all costs, and when it is, then you have your other functions that can go about as usual. So all functions are necessary and important, but the Queen Bee role has to be given priority. It's the one that makes you money. It's the one that keeps you in business. So what we're looking at is what is absolutely necessary for you to maintain and scale your business. And then once that's figured out and safeguarded, then all your other functions can go on as necessary. So as a newbie, and coincidentally, my wife and I have become beekeepers this season because she is an excellent person and environmentally sound and wants to help preserve the honeybee population. So this spring we did become beekeepers on just a small residential level. And as a new beekeeper that we do in our spare time, we do go in and inspect every other week to make sure everything is going smoothly and as it should be. Make sure there's no issues within the hive. So I get to see firsthand the workings of a beehive. And Mr. Michalowicz's description is spot on, because the queen bee's job is to lay eggs to ensure the hive's longevity and survival. Without eggs and more bees, then it's not going to go on. The guard bees ensure no adversaries get into the hive. The foragers, they go out and every day and pollinate. Go to find flowers, pollinate, bring pollen back, and then everyone makes honey in the hive. And the drones, they mate with the queen bee for her to be able to lay the eggs. So these are the main functions. All the functions are necessary. But when something comes up, such as when my wife and I inspect on those every other week, we make sure that there's no mites on the bees. The queen bee's still in there. That's without a queen. That's the whole premise of this podcast. No queen bee and no eggs and no hive. So we're making sure everything's okay. So all the workers in the hive stop what they're doing and either surround the queen bee so that we can't get to it, or they attack us. So they ensure the queen bee and thus the QBR stay safe. And in your business, or any business, there are 4 Ds: doing, deciding, delegating, and designing. And in general, according to Mr. Michalowicz, and looking at my own firm, it makes sense, and I fully subscribe to it. 80% of the time you should be doing, because without doing tasks, then you really have no business. 5% if you have employees. 5% should be helping them decide when everything's running and you have the proper people and their skill set matched to the proper task. You give them the autonomy to make decisions on their own, but they're still going to have to come to you from time to time, so only 5% of your time should be deciding. And then in a similar vein, 5% should be delegating, and then 20% of your time should be designing your business and growing it, scaling it, and within that, designing is normally the QBR. So we'll just keep it at that. It could be any, every business is different. So the QBR would be specific to that business, but in general, or at least for this purpose, we're going to say it's within the designing sector. So in my firm, as I grow, my mix is a little bit different because I only have an admin, and so we're looking to achieve 80% doing, 5% for both deciding and delegating, and then 15% designing. And within that designing is my QBR, which is meeting with prospective clients, business owners, running the podcasts and webinars, speaking engagements to show other businesses exactly what I do and how to service their QBR, and that how I can help them, because if they're doing their own accounting or payroll, 9 times out of 10, from what I've seen, that's where my statistics are coming from. Statistics are coming from is that when I'm meeting with business owners, they're in general, at least the ones I meet with, are not doing it properly, taking entirely too much time because they're not exactly sure if it's being done properly or not. So in general, when a business owner that is not in the accounting field does their own accounting and payroll, it hurts the bottom line and costs them more money because they're wasting their time doing something that's not their core competency, and therefore they're not getting more customers, not scaling. So by saving a little bit of money to do a function that is not their core competency, it's costing them in potential clients. And of course, as we know that from previous podcasts, you can't quantify that number. So anytime I hear this come out of a business owner's mouth, then I start to decide whether I actually want to work with that business owner, because we're not thinking the same way. It's more of a short-term thinking than long-term thinking, and I pick my clients based on being on the same mindset, with looking to grow together and partner. So if someone's looking to cut a relatively minor expense at the cost of growing their business, that tells me they may not be a good fit for me and working with me. So by outsourcing these important yet non-QBR functions to me, it protects my partner's time and allows them to perform their core competencies, and it gives them more opportunity to scale their business, which is the purpose of the QBR and being in business, is to make money. And by outsourcing unimportant items, well, unimportant as far as the specific business goes, then you have more opportunity to get more customers. And by partnering, we are helping each other preserve both of our QBRs, because, of course, my core competency is accounting and payroll. So for more information on how to partner with me or set up a strategy call, you can visit and go through my Calendly appointment setter. And the website is www.briansbusinessumbrella. It's BRIENS businessumbrella.com. You can call 716-727-8844. Or my basic email is just Timothy Bryan. And again, Bryan is BRIEN at hotmail.com. And with that, I will end this episode and have a great day.